Hey, what's up, guys? Eddie Martin here. Home of the Hustle, Tuesday nights with me. Today, we're going to have Jeremy Rubin on. Jeremy Rubin, the friendly flipper. So I'm going to give it a second. Jeremy just hit me with a text, said he's ready to roll. So as soon as he gets in here, I'm going to make sure I know how to add him in. Hey, when you guys get in here, share this stream out for me, please. I would highly, highly appreciate that. And we'll give this a couple minutes. So if you guys don't know Jeremy Rubin, what's up, Justin? What's up, Colleen? If you guys don't know Jeremy Rubin, super cool dude. I met him a little while back. Okay, he's here. Let's see if I can figure out how to add him. Bear with me, it's not showing Jeremy's face. Gotta love it. Very strange. Here we go. It's starting to load. I can't use my Wi-Fi in here. It doesn't like the studio, so I gotta wait for my cell to catch up to it. And it's still not. There we go. There's Jeremy. Right. You should be being invited there, Jeremy. There we go.
Yo, what's going on, Eddie?
How you doing?
Great, man. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you jumping on. Having some connection issues, I think, for a second there. So bear with me on my side. I don't think I'm going to be able to see comments over here, so you're going to be the only one that can see comments. Oh, here we go. All right.
Rogers, what up?
Looks like we're good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be able to see him. Colleen, what's up? Craig Myers, what's up? Share this thing out, guys. Highly, highly appreciate this. Jeremy was nice enough to come on here to talk to me a little bit about his story, who he is, where he's from, because everybody knows him as this super cool, super nice, energetic guy that makes bank flipping houses. That's going to teach you guys how to do the same thing. But what's the story behind the story, right? So that's what we wanted to talk about here today, because on Tuesdays at Home of the Hustle, my goal is to bring you people, get new folks in front of you, in front of the network, so that you can expand your network and meet new people and awesome people. I think I'm going to call it Talco Tuesdays, like a taco, but a talk. Thanks to Zach Conley for that.
Tacos.
Yes, they do.
Big out here. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate it. Crystal,
absolutely.
Thank you for sharing.
Cool. So we got a handful of people up in here. I think we're still having some connection issues. Maybe not. So when you hop in, share it out. What's up, Amanda? So
what's going on, Amanda?
Let's
Elite Closers. What?
So what's up, dude? So let's get a little bit of a background on you, man. I know my lighting's kind of bad. I know you're from Southern California, right? So how old are you?
So I just turned 30 last month. Just turned 30 in April. Or actually 2 months ago now, April 12th. Southern California-ish. Age 0 to 12 in Palmdale. Which is about 60 miles northeast of Los Angeles, suburbs of LA, basically where everyone lives that works in LA or the LA area, but can't afford, doesn't make enough to live in LA, so you got to commute. Because LA's, major bank real estate there. And then when I was 12, my parents moved. It was either Oregon, where it rains, which I really wasn't in favor of that, or the Central Coast, where my mom's sister lives at the time. And then, fortunately, it turned out to be the Central Coast. So Santa Maria, California, that's where I am now. We moved to Nipomo. It's this little podunk town of probably 10,000 people. Well, 10,000 when we moved there. It's about 16,000 now. But since then, I've been on the Central Coast. So just about halfway, to give everyone an idea, Santa Maria is halfway between San Francisco and LA. So it's right in there. So
big wine country out in Santa Maria, huh?
yeah, Santa Maria, the whole Central Coast, Santa Maria, all the way up San Luis and all that good stuff. It's wine country. You want to come on down and go wine tasting? Give me a call. Anyone that's in the area?
I do. I might have to take a drive down there.
All right.
You know, because I'm from Northern California, so I'm was up by like Napa and Sonoma and all that. So yeah, love me some wine country.
Yeah.
So moved down there, and you know, you're 12, right?
Yep. Family decided to move. At that age, you kind of got to go with them. But I was glad to get out of Palmdale. Definitely glad. It's like windy and hot over there, as opposed to the Central Coast, which is like the most mild climate year round, which is like chill.
Yeah. So 12 years old, dude. Were you always this extroverted, happy guy, jumping around, smiling?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, happy and like, but not extroverted. Like, definitely very much. I mean, I think I still am an introvert, but like I kept everything inside. I had terrible social anxiety and terrible lack of confidence just because of just a slow. I was a super late bloomer in terms of like social development. I think growing up, so I was super quiet. I was the guy that like would just like in the high school circle standing around, like I wouldn't talk. Like I would just like, I mean, I was like afraid to hit I would like hesitate to jump in on the game of hacky sack because I'm like afraid to like look stupid or not miss the thing or something, you know. So weird.
Worried about looking stupid.
Yeah. So definitely not no. So lots changed, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Okay, so Crystal says she was too a super late bloomer, and that's okay, and it's cool. I think that like letting people know that, like, I mean, like I started like, well, I don't know how deep you want to go into it. Sure, why not? So I guess
let's take it all the way down, man. Hey, share this out if you guys are just hopping in here. I appreciate that.
Justin Myers, what's going on? Jason Daniels, what's going on? So I was homeschooled from age 0 to up until 10th grade. I was homeschooled. And there's tons of benefits with that, and there's also drawbacks. So I think that the major plus side is that, I mean, you can, you know, you knock out the education piece in like a much shorter time frame every day because you're not waiting, you know, you're not going at the pace of the school, you're going at your pace. But at the same time, like naturally I was not very sociable. And so not in like a social environment like all the time, like I would definitely have benefited from that. Like, so that's kind of like where my whole childhood was. So I was homeschooled. So I didn't really get the exposure, I think, to like social situations that I definitely needed personally. There's a lot of people that are like homeschooled that they're just like fine because, you know, they're naturally like extroverts or like naturally social butterflies. But I definitely am like the kind of person that like, I was like socially like behind. Like, I mean, I was like so like quiet and anxious, like had terrible anxiety. Like, so with that, I wanted to, so basically my first experience in a real school was 10th grade. Cause I wanted to go to high school. Cause I knew this was a problem for me. I recognized this, like inside, like I want to talk to people. I love being around people, but I just like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what are they going to think of me? Like, so I wanted to go to school like since basically 7th grade. I wanted to go for 8th grade when all my friends went to the Yosemite trip for a week and I was at home. I wanted to go 10th, 9th grade, or 9th too, but like the schools in the area. And first basically my parents were like overprotective. So I had to like talk them into it. So like it started at 7th grade, and I'm like, come on. And then didn't go through 8th grade. Oh, that sucked. 9th grade, the high school in the area was really crappy, so that was like the reasoning was overcrowded. 10th grade rolls around. I'm like, come on, it's 3 years I'm working on them. I'm trying to work them down, and like they, they're just trying to, protect me and like do like. My mom was a teacher in the LA County School District in the 80s, and so she saw like a lot of like serious like stuff, like that's like like and so like that was the impression. So she didn't want me to go through that, and I really I love her for that. That's awesome. At the same time, I want like social like exposure. Like I didn't feel like I was like the other homeschool kids. Like nothing against them, but I just didn't feel like I fit in. Like I was like, man, I just want to be like, I had fun like hanging around with my friends after they got off the school bus in the neighborhood and stuff. Like like those are the people I wanted to hang out with. 10th grade rolls around, a new high school opens up in the town, and it's brand new, new facility, new faculty, or like people from, I guess, other places. And then it wasn't overcrowded, so I got to go to school. I was 15 years old, and I stepped on the campus like a kindergartner, and it was like
right in the fire.
Crazy. Like, yeah, it was like insane. So, but it was awesome at the same time. But I was scared shitless. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I was super quiet, introverted, didn't talk. Like so that's. I mean I feel like weird like talking about myself, but I guess what people can get out of this is that like you can always like develop. Like I don't like there's always, you can always change, and you can always grow. Like,
well, yeah, you don't have to grow up and be the popular kid and the extroverted kid to grow up being that person, to actually be that person once you kind of come into your own. Because if you ask me, is this guy an extroverted dude, I would say nah, this guy is, or an introverted, I would say no, this is an extroverted gentleman. This guy, big smile, having a good time, laughing, joking around, not worried about what other people think about you. But you had to come into that because really, the plus and the minuses of going to homeschool, right? So you didn't have those social interactions that were both positive and negative, which a lot of people get out of high school, and they've been in regular school from an early age, from kindergarten, and they have so much baggage coming out that they spend the next like 5 to 10 years just shaking that shit off of them. So
right, yeah. So it's crazy. It's like we all take these different paths. With there's no perfect path. There's like no matter what pathway you go, like there's going to be pluses and minuses. So, but the thing is, like, you can make all those things up. Like you can patch in those pieces if you want to, if you work on it. So I'm still a goofball too. Let's see. Are you able to see the comments, or still no?
They're a little far from me. I have to squint to see them.
Okay, so let's see. Being a goofball is your defense mech. So Amanda says being a goofball was my defense mechanism, and honestly, when inside, I was extremely insecure on the inside. Yeah, no, that's definitely like a way, like, for sure I can relate to that. And then Victor, same thing. He says, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sharing this out. I'm good. I'm getting a little more, it's not just about the business. This is more kind of like about my background.
Well, I think it's important, man. I think it's very important. People knowing who you are. With social media, I think so many things get in the way because people like see you. I'm not saying you, I'm saying everybody. People see people and they automatically like put them in a box. And they say, okay, this guy, that's who this guy is. He is a success, or he is an extrovert, or this guy's rich, or this guy's a loser, whatever the case may be. So I think that it's important when you're really pressing and putting yourself out there that you put some stuff out there, let people know who you are. And that's why I wanted to bring you on to the show for today, because the whole goal of this show on Tuesdays is to introduce people in their rawest form to the network, because there's a lot of people that are around. There might not be a ton of people on the stream right now, but there's a lot of people that will see this later and that will get exposed, that might not know you, that will know you now. And it doesn't hurt that you're about to bring the most badass training program that the real estate house flipping industry has ever seen with Lightspeed. Right. That thing's coming soon.
That's right, baby. Lightspeed VT and the friendly flipper. So
it's a perfect fit. But that was the whole point of this, is let's get you introduced to people so that they know a little bit more about you and who you are. So homeschooled until 10th grade, right? So you get thrown into the fire. I mean, even kids, like my daughter's 14, okay? She's graduating 9th grade this year. She'll go into 10th grade next year. Even a kid that's went through school, once you hit high school, the game has changed.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So did you have a hard time? Like, what was harder? Like interacting with the guys and fitting in with the dudes, or talking to the girls?
All of it. Making friends was hard. Like, just talking to anyone I didn't know was hard. Like, I didn't know how to make friends. I thought there was like a process or something like the other thing is, like, I'm super analytical and super, like, I way overthink things. And, like, I've been getting better at, like, just, making decisions quickly, because it's, it's essential to business to be able to, get down to it. But, like, I used to be terrible at, like, and that plays back into the anxiety thing, but, like, just overthink things, like, way, way, way too much. And, like, thought, like, I just saw the world in such a weird way for so long, like, and everything is so super structured and, like, black and white. And then when I realized when I grow up, it's like, there's hardly anything's black and white. It's all gray. It's all just like, and so that was like a huge, I guess, one of those quantum leaps or whatever. At one point when I kind of, like, figured that out, I guess we get, like, yeah. So
that was the door, changed the game for you.
Yeah. So that changed the game, but I definitely struggled. I mean, like, making friends. I thought there was a process or something. I thought, like, you had to be, like, around someone, like, for so many hours, or, like, for like so many different interactions, or, like, it would take a long time to become a good friend. Like, I just totally didn't understand any of this, like, because I don't know, I didn't play on the playground, like, every single day, and, like, all this, like, or I just wasn't in that environment. So, like, I way overthought it. I didn't want to say the wrong things and stuff. So it's like, I struggled with that a lot. But fortunately, I knew some of my best friends from the neighborhood, like, were also now we're going to school together. And it was like, that was awesome. And so I had an in that way. So I wasn't just like, because I don't know what I would have done, like, if I was, like, the kid, like, that moved from a different state, like, that new kid, that just shows up. But as a homeschooler, like, with no previous, like, public school, like, that would have been really crazy. So, yeah, no, super, super thankful, like, that I had friends there, that I'm still friends with to this day. So,
that's crazy.
We used to ride bikes to school, stop at the donut shop on the way. Like, yeah, it was awesome. So then I lived the high school experience for 2 years, for 10th and 11th grade. And then I was like, well, okay, this is cool, but I'm, like, wasting my time, kind of, and I want to start making money. And, like, I've passed the test, so I didn't actually have to stay and get any more credits at high school. I could just start going to the college. And so I started going to the junior college, and then started working sales, because I knew that I wanted to be around people. Like, I knew, like, I don't know. So the DISC assessment, like the personality assessment, if anyone watching that doesn't know what that is, like, check it out. It's pretty cool. Look it up online. But, like, I'm a high I, like, I'm an I, like, and I always knew that, like, after taking it. I didn't actually always know that, but, like, once, like, I found that out, it was like, man, but, like, on the outside, I wasn't. It was like I wasn't letting it through, but, like, I relate super well, like, to people once I knew them, but then, like, I just couldn't make friends. Like, I couldn't, like, step out of my comfort zone. So that's, like, what I struggled with for a long time. So then I'm like, okay, I got to force myself into a situation where I can talk to people and be with people, but I'm not going to be like where I can awkward, yeah, and I don't have to like think about like overthink stuff. I can just So I'm like, okay, perfect, like sales. So I apply at Circuit City. I get like the holiday helper position, and then I sell a bunch of CDs because that's what you do as a holiday helper, ring stuff up. But then they kept me around, and then I stuck around there for 14 months. I went to the computer and digital camera section, and then I discovered, man, I can sell. Like, and I didn't even know I was selling, but really I was just trying to be nice because I was just like, oh, these people are talking to me, and it's not awkward because I'm just like talking about a product and like just explaining. And so it's super low pressure, you know, because I don't know how to sell. Like, so I'm just like trying to be nice because I don't want to like also like scare them off too, you know, like because I'm just like glad like my tail's wagging because they're like interacting with me and I'm not super awkward. So it's like, and it worked. Like my natural sales process, like I ended up being ended up top 3 in the store, and then just slowly, actually not even that slowly, just climbed to number 1, and then the 3 of us would battle it out for top sales in Circuit City in volume for probably about 9 months that I was doing for the rest of my 9 months there, and that was right around the time that Circuit City and Verizon came together and put Verizon kiosks inside of the Circuit Cities. And then Verizon reps were seeing like what I was doing, and they're like, dude, you're like working for $9.50 an hour, and you're like top sales rep in the store. Like, come work for us, because they paid commission. And Circuit City didn't. That was after they left that model. So I'm like 17 and 3/4 years old at this point. So I'm not even 18, like, and I apply at Verizon because I'm just like focused on, because I don't really have a social life outside of work. I mean, that much. Like I go to junior college, like, and I go to work, and it's like, and I hang out with friends sometimes, but like not super, like, still introverted, you know?
Yeah. Well, and you got to plug into a system on, you know, what you were talking about. You didn't have to come up with anything spontaneously. You didn't have to figure out how to spark a conversation. You right. Plugged into a system, and then you were able to kind of like break yourself out of any shyness that you had, because there was rules, there was an agenda, and you just had to be nice and do what you were supposed to do. Didn't have to get creative, didn't have to come up with anything.
Yeah, but then I was still awkward as shit in the break room. I'd be sitting in the break room, and I'd just be like, looking at a magazine. I don't think they're real. This is barely right when I had like my VX6000, the first like Verizon camera phone, like flip thing. So I don't think I was doing much on the phone. I was probably just reading a car magazine. But if anyone is like just joining in, like, or not joining, like, and you've been here watching, know that it's like, if you one way to expose yourself, if you think like you're socially awkward and you want to get around people, is get a sales job. Force yourself into a public, like a job like that. And it's uncomfortable at first, but if that's what you need, do that for yourself. Like, you'll grow.
Well, and it did it for me too. I mean, growing up, I wasn't super extroverted like at all. The only reason I had friends is because I played sports. It's the only reason, you know, anybody would have had a conversation with me. Aside from that, I was super awkward. I didn't know what to say, and quite frankly, I didn't freaking like people, and I just was trying to get by and go play baseball and basketball. And, you know, as I got a little bit older and started hanging out with friends a little more, like late high school years, it started to kind of come out because I put myself in social situations. But when I got out of school, you know, I had a baby at 19, so it was like there was no college. It was, let's roll. Like, let's get shit done. Yeah. And I immediately got into like service-based businesses where I had to interact with people, and that pulled me out, because then I realized, oh, I can communicate. Like, I can get my way. I speak a lot better than most people, and that led me into sales, which then took my ability to just be able to have a conversation to, you know, a whole nother level where I can have a conversation with anybody about anything, anywhere, anytime. I don't really care what it is. It forces you out of your shell. So if you guys are just jumping in here and maybe you have like a niece or a nephew or a friend or somebody, and you know, they don't know how to have conversations with people. They don't know how to get out of their shell. Get them in sales. Tell them to get in sales. And if they say they're not in sales, say everybody's in sales. Everything is sales.
That's
John,
it.
what's up, brother? Aside from that,
John's in here. Nick's in here. What's up, Pearson? Elite Closers. What's up, Victor? Austin. What's up, man? So yeah, no, totally. Get a job in sales. Force yourself into an uncomfortable situation. Like push yourself, because you know, like if you want to grow, I mean, like that's it. And I mean, it was still uncomfortable. You know, I mean, like I said, like I'd be in the break room, like super quiet, and that went on for years. Like still, like it was a long process, like drawn out too. I mean, like only until that last, like, it's funny that you say that actually about sports, because like I sucked at sports. Like I didn't make any high school sports teams. Like I was super, like I might look athletic now, but like I was like puny and like super like uncoordinated. Like my best basketball when I was playing, like I would play youth basketball. Like I just kept trying. I love basketball. I actually wanted to be in the NBA. That was one of my dream jobs. But then I realized like I wasn't like that tall. But then I also kind of sucked at basketball. But like my best points per game average over a season was 5. Like and it's not like I was like blocking, you know, all kinds or rebounding all kinds either. So it's like I didn't even have sports to relate like to people with. So it was like, I mean, definitely you want to use whatever advantage you have, whatever, you know, to get in. But yeah, thankfully I didn't get trash canned by any jocks or anything either, though.
Yeah,
so
you didn't get
I was pretty much cool with I was pretty much cool with everybody, but like I just didn't talk that much. But I mean, But no one hated. But that's another thing. No one hated me. And I mean, of course some people love me, but I mean, like I didn't have an opinion. I was so ho hum and so like not just wanting to be. I didn't first of all know how to act, but then like even like interact, I should say. But like I was definitely like trying to be a pleaser and not like offend anyone. But then in like, because I wanted friends, I wanted to be around people, you know, I didn't want to piss anyone off. But then I realized like at the same, what now looking back, it's like I wasn't taking a stance all that time. Like I wouldn't have an opinion about things, or I would be like, you know, just too nonchalant or too passive. But like in my head, I'm always like, I know what I'm going to do. And like, I don't care like what they're going to do. Like, but I just wouldn't let it out, and I wouldn't lead, you know, I wouldn't like take, okay, I got this good idea. Come on, everybody, let's like check this out. Let's go. Like I would just, but inside I knew like I wanted that. So then that's, I mean, putting yourself into those situations, like where you can push yourself to grow, is like critical if you want to progress. If you know you have something inside and you want to get like, you want to grow that, like you got to get uncomfortable.
Well, and you can't, I mean, there are times in life where you need to be agreeable, you know, there are times where you need to be agreeable, but most of the time you need to be taking a stand, right?
Yeah. I mean, at least have an opinion. That's the thing. Like you just got to have an opinion. I mean, you got to have, because you have an opinion really, or you give your opinion to someone else. Like it's totally okay, I think, to be agreeable, but like if you just give up your choice, like people respect you less, actually, like, and you get less, you know, notice, you know.
Just agreeing for the sake of not, you know, having a confrontation is freaking pointless. I'm not saying you run around and start arguments, and if you don't agree with somebody, you freak out on them. Like, I don't do that. No. You don't do that. But getting into sales will push you and force you out of that. Because I tell you what, you ain't gonna freaking close a door if you're just gonna be, you know, agreeing with everything that everybody says. Because I tell you what, the excuses and the objections, or whatever you want to call them, that people will give you, if you can't speak up and assert yourself in those situations, you're going to have a very short sales career.
That's true. Which I did not. So I knew I was doing something right. I ended up staying, actually, after I got hired on Verizon, with them for 11 years to the day. So I got the sales thing down. Actually, that's where I learned a consultative sale, you know, the whole consultative process, and how to really like hone the techniques. And anyone that's just joining, we're talking about the transformation of Jeremy Rubin, into the friendly flipper.
From the shy flipper to the friendly flipper.
So, so I stayed at Verizon for a long time, and that was like super helpful for my development. And then it got to a point where after about 6 years where I got super burnt out. And then I stayed super burnt out for another 5 years. And I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Like looking back, like I didn't realize how low my flame was, how small and snuffed out my candle was burning so low until just like in the last like 3 months or so, really, like, because it's like the fire that I had when I was a brand new sales rep there, like for those first few years, like it was gone for so long. And then like, it started to come back when I started working for myself full time about 1.5 years ago. But man, just now it's like, I feel like super, like the flame is super, just, it's torching. It's torching.
Yeah, you
it's
poured
like
some gas
torch.
on that bitch.
So
you poured some fucking gas on it.
Yeah, and that last just bit is just all in the last 3 months or so. I mean, like since I pressed record, since 10X, and since Hank Norman said press record, and I bitched out at the event and I didn't do it, but I knew like I needed to do it, and I came home and I did that first walkthrough of the latest house flip, and I pressed record, and I was scared. Like it scared the shit out of me to do that. Like I almost wussed out 3 times. Like I kept coming up with reasons, like, but then I did it, and I felt like I was scared. I was really scared going through it, but like it was afterwards like a breakthrough, like just an amazing, like, oh wow, like that's crazy. And then
you didn't die. That's what happened.
I didn't die. Yeah.
You were like, I pressed record and I didn't die. But did you die?
I'm here. And then I watched it, and I watched myself, and I'm like, okay, what do I do good? What do I do bad? Like, and people were super supportive too. So like, I would encourage anyone out there, like, push record. That's it. Lawrence just typed it in there. Push record, press record, hashtag press record. It's like, it'll get you out of your comfort zone like so far. Like if you've never done that before, like it's like rocket power out of like your comfort zone. But after you do it, you feel like, whoa, like just try it. Like and you can always delete it too. You can always delete it.
There's a place for that. And I know my lighting's kind of dark. All the studio folks left, and we had to fire this bitch back up, and I'm missing a light. So
we got extra hours.
But there's a place for people to be able to, when Hank talks about it, press record, he says, press record 2-minute video or whatever, make a point, don't waste people's time, put it out there and leave it, let it be, right? Well, my exposure to that was before I even knew who Hank Norman was, and we started a group called Break Free Go Live for this exact same reason, because people needed to, it started out as a sales call deal, but then it turned into, because it became obvious, we just kind of stumbled on, this idea that you can be propelled forward in a crazy way by simply grabbing your phone and hitting live. So
this is the truth. Yes.
And it was in a safe environment. So it still exists. It's still there. It is 100. It is true.
Well, absolutely. Like it's like strapping like 2 rocket boosters on and just lighting the fuse and you go, and I would encourage anyone to do it. You know why? Because everyone has an interesting life. Like that's the thing. Like the things people do, like unless like don't just don't press live and just chew your food and wait for people to tune on. I see people do that. I just laugh, but do like show us what you do. Like it's fascinating. Like I watch my friends' Facebook lives like all the time now because I like to see what they like, the stuff that they do. It's crazy. Like Sandy, she did a little live, one of my friends of the back office of like her, where she works like in like scrubs and stuff. And like, it was just like a little lab area. And I was like, cool, man, that's freaking cool to see. And then like, You know, my buddy Edward will do lives on the car lot and stuff, and just like it's cool to see like stuff like that. Like people want to know like what you do. Everyone does something like, hey, even if you're walking down the street, just tell us what you're thinking about. Like I'd rather know what people I know are thinking about and talking about and doing than some stranger on the TV now. Like,
Well,
so
this is the TV, dude. This is
the
the
TV.
this is the new TV. I don't watch TV, and like I haven't in months because I did like a Netflix binge when like, you know, last summer, right before I got on Facebook. I like looked back and I was like, oh crap, I watched like 9 different shows, like season 1 to season 10 in like a couple of months. Like, what the hell am I doing? Like, slipping. Stop watching TV immediately, right? Now, I will tell you this. House of Cards just came back on, and I freaking love House of Cards, so I started watching that an episode at night before I go to bed because that shit is awesome. But aside from that, dude, Facebook is TV. Facebook is the new TV. And not only is it the new TV, tell me this, right? So when's the last time somebody on TV that you were watching, that you were entertained by, that you were learning about, let's say it was on a reality show or National Geographic or some shit, when's the last time that person helped add value to your life? When's the last time that person on the other side of that screen was able to help you make money or hook you up with somebody who could be a friend in the future? Because I'm pretty sure none of those motherfuckers have ever done that for me.
Yeah. I'm thinking pretty hard right now, and I can't think of one.
I think you're gonna pop a blood vessel if you think any harder on this one.
Yeah, I think my veins popping out of my forehead. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, it's like, where's the value in it? Like, there's so much value in the two-way communication. Even the way that Facebook is evolving to now, you know, have with the reactions, you know, from just the likes to the reactions, and then the reactions on the comments now too. Like, yeah. It's all just evolving to bring us closer together through the digital, you know, to transfer, you know, what I'm feeling and thinking to you and whoever else, like through the digital world. And so it's like, it's awesome because I learn a ton. Like I learn a ton from everybody else, like from what they do, what they post, and like, I mean, I get inspired. I get my, you know, thought-provoking like questions are asked, or when someone just says something else, like it might trigger something totally unrelated, but it's value. It's value, and like you can go, yeah, it's so much better. Friends support friends. Facebook Lives. #share.
The one thing that I was thinking about this the other day, right? The one thing that I took out of, not the one thing, but the main thing that I took out of 10X, not GrowthCon, but the book, the 10X rule, is something that's completely holding true today. And it's the reason why you and I are on this live stream together, is I read the book and I went straight to Facebook and said, nobody knows me. I need to create a network of like-minded people to be around. And then from there, for me, it was, and then disrupt that network. So yeah, that way we can mingle and we can disagree and we can provoke thought and we can have conversations that matter. I can't just agree with you if I don't agree with you, right? So the network, dude,
doesn't do anyone any good.
No, that's the big deal that I take out of this. That's why I always say share the stream, because you never know who's going to be on the other side of it and going to pick up something or learn something from one thing. You only have to say one thing. It could change one person's life going forward forever. So we got off the topic a little bit, though. So you spent time at Verizon, right? Yes. 12 years. Is that right?
11 years. 11 years to the day. 11 years. Yep. And then
Did you plan that?
Yes. I had it planned. I had it planned, actually. I thought it was going to be 10 years to the day. I had this on my board. I had this bulletin board. As soon as I walk out of my bathroom, the wall that I face before I turn left into the bedroom every day is this bulletin board, and I had it written up there. I had the date. I had I had 40 contracts, the deals, number of deals I was going to do, and of real estate deals, and I had the date in big letters. I missed it by a year, but that's because I was still working on, you know, the process. But like I had it up there, and like eventually I got there. I got that motherfucker. Like, and that was like, yeah, so that was awesome. To be able to leave on my terms was really cool, because I'd seen a lot of people come and go. I mean, you see in the over 11 years in an environment like a corporate sales environment, like people like come and they go, like,
yeah.
So
yeah, people usually
on my terms, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. So then you went full blown into the flipping business, into the real estate game, full time. what 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now, or is it a year and a half?
Year and a half full time.
Year and a half.
January 2016. That was it. I was out, and I had been doing flipping houses for about 2 years prior to that. So I had part-time while I was on the sales floor at Verizon, kind of, and actually got written up once at work at Verizon for doing a real estate deal on company time. So it's like my heart wasn't in it. I wasn't there. I wasn't supposed to be there. Like, I was just like there just because the golden, I was in the golden bird cage or whatever, which wasn't even that golden. I mean, it wasn't even a 6-figure job. Like, so I was just secure and comfortable, but like, it's like, man, I was thinking small. Like, you got to think big. Like, there's so much money and so much abundance and so much out there. It's like, if you're settling for like an hourly rate that you're not happy with, like, you can get more, you can earn more, like, you can make more. Like, everyone has an ability to add more value to society, I think, than I mean, if you're the type that's not satisfied, like, you're probably the type that can add more value. Like, that's the thing. Like, so go live, freaking do it. Just press live and start there. Like, that's where you start. If you want to know where to start,
It really is. It really is that easy. But yeah, it is. It's the ones that speak up. It's the ones that go against things that have an opinion that stand out, and they're the ones that, in my opinion, help give a voice and maybe some influence and power back to those who have been agreeable and have been quiet about things and haven't said anything. They're like, man, I can't say anything. Everybody's being positive all the time. Even like the fucking house is falling apart, and they're like, everything's great. Like, dude, everything is fucking great, man. Like, it's okay to say that everything's not great, right? But if everybody around you won't admit like the realities of what's going on, then you may be positive, but you're still living, you're still hidden, all right? So speak up, speak out, get things done. Now, Janine had a question for you, and I guess for me. How did you grow such a luscious beard?
Oh, well, it's lots and lots of special oil, which you can find at my website called, no, I'm just kidding. Actually,
babybeardclub.com.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
No. Oh, is it? No.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have good beard growing genes. Don't know what else to tell you. And I keep it fairly trimmed. But thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank's got the Baby Beard Club. What's that?
You too. Nice beard.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I only had like this thing for like my whole life.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I grew up and it started growing everywhere.
Yeah.
But okay, so 11 years at Verizon, you leave on your own terms, you're flipping houses, you're doing deals. When you're supposed to be selling cell phones, you're selling duplexes.
That's right.
Right? Now you're on your own.
Getting ratted on by some employee, tells the manager, I don't know. And then I get written up. Oh, God.
He's like, man, this guy just made as much money as I did in 6 months on this house deal he just did. Screw this guy.
But I love all my Verizon peeps. If any of you are watching, even the manager that wrote me up.
Hey, I love Verizon, man. I have AT&T, but I like Verizon, man. I got no problems with Verizon.
Yeah. So
you're out, you're doing your own thing, you're flipping houses, you're making good money. Ain't done a bad deal yet. Everybody's gonna run into one. Nobody is immune to a bad deal. Yep. You will find one. Something gonna slip through the cracks, and it ain't your fault. But you haven't found a bad deal yet. You haven't made a bad decision yet.
Not yet. Yes. So
yet is the key word.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. But I've done enough in the right direction that I know that when that bad one comes, it's gonna be okay.
Exactly. You've identified what a good deal looks like, right? So if I've just seen a bunch of shit deals and I've just lost a bunch of money, I can't really tell people how to find a good deal. Because I don't know what one looks like, because I keep losing them. I keep losing my ass. But if all I've seen is good deals and all I've made is good decisions, well, I'm in a position to show people and teach them and train them on how to find those deals. And understand that they will find bad ones, because maybe it's some things happen, right? So
things happen. If you're gonna swing the bat, you gotta swing the bat. And you're going to hit and the thing is, I know how to hit the ball really good. I mean, if you know how to win Super Bowls, because you've won several, you know how to win Super Bowls. You can, teach someone else, hopefully, how to win Super Bowls. If you haven't been able to, then odds of you being able to teach someone else probably are none.
Exactly. Janine says bad deals just a perception. I agree with that. But if I go buy a house and I lose 50 grand, that's a bad fucking deal.
That's a bad deal. Yeah, that's a bad deal.
That's a bad deal. Well, I don't know.
That's a painful, expensive lesson. Yeah, but that's a bad deal.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a lesson, and you don't have to like cut your wrists over it, but it's it ain't a good thing. I find you'd be like in denial if you tried to twist that into, oh, this was great. Like, I figured out you're not supposed to buy a house with a cracked foundation. Like, I get it. I absolutely get it.
Not if you learn $1 million lesson. I agree. Yes. Not if you learn if it saves you. Yeah. If you save that, make that 50 back later. So keep going. That point right there is keep going. Just keep going. You make a bad deal, just keep going. Like, course correct and bam, keep going.
That's what I'm saying. I don't disagree that it's perception, because it is. If that stops you from doing something, that's your fault, right? You keep going, you keep moving, you keep going forward. So, but you know how to identify a good deal.
That's right. That's right.
So,
and in my PT, I'm going to show you how as well.
Where'd the friendly flipper come from? I know that was a question that was asked earlier.
Yeah, that came from 10X. Everything, I mean, not everything, but Jeremy became 10X Jeremy because of 10X. Like, I kid you not, like, everything, like, that was, like, the major rocket boosters. Like, that was, like 100 rocket boosters, like, just because of that. I mean, so Friendly Flipper actually came still as I'm trying to break into my comfort zone, like, knowing knowing what I should be doing, but still having a tough time doing it. And it was actually Gloria Mayfield Banks. When she was on stage, she came out on stage, she had this rhyme introduction thing. And for years, I had struggled with, like, I would meet people and then I wouldn't make enough of an impression because of whatever reason and then they wouldn't remember me, and they wouldn't remember my name. And so I was like, for years, I was like, man, I want people to remember me, but I don't know how to do it. And so when she came out on stage and, like, she has this rhyme that goes with her name and everything, it's just like, oh man, like, that's it. Like, no other speaker did that there. And so that was interesting. But I was like, if I can come up with something like that, that will help me stand out. Like, even if it's corny, even if it's dumb, like, even if I feel stupid saying it, like at real estate, meetings or whatever, people will remember it. So I made it. I right after she spoke, I went to her booth and I was like, I let her know, hey, that was super inspiring. I'm going to come up with something. And I told her I'm going to come up with something on the plane ride home. My homework is I'm going to write some kind of introduction for myself so people will remember me. And I need to reach out to her and let her know what I came up with, because at first it was like, I didn't know what I was doing. It was like Jeremy, the one-stop real estate shop Reuben or something like that. And like, I had ideas, and then I thought I was going to make a poem or a rhyme, like a full, like, blah, 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 blah. But then that can get kind of annoying. And then especially if you have to introduce yourself twice in front of the same person like, in a meeting, then they're going to be like, oh, this guy again, like, so I didn't want it to be too over the top. But then I think I did a post and I said Friendly Flipper, or a video, and I said Friendly Flipper. And then my friend Ryan was like, Friendly Flipper, I love it. And like in the comments, and I was like, yeah, it does kind of have a ring to it, like, doesn't it? And then I thought, okay, because it's friendly, because it forces me to get out of my comfort zone. Like, it forces me to be that always on, like, it commits me, because I'm publicly committing, like, I have to be the Friendly Flipper. Like, I can't be the asshole one day and then the Friendly Flipper the next day. Like, it doesn't work. Like, I have to be the Friendly Flipper. So, and it makes me get out of the introverted, mindset, like, and be extrovert. Like, I have to, like, so even on those days when, I want to revert back, or you want to feel, or you feel that just like you don't feel as confident or whatever, like, so it commits me. So there's so much power, so much power in committing something publicly and proclaiming it. And it's different even than, it's one thing to write it down on paper for yourself, because that makes it real. That takes, what's in your head and it puts it into the physical universe. And it's like, you can't deny that you wrote that now. Like you might deny a thought or even spoken word, but if you can't deny something you wrote. So, but then when you proclaim it on Facebook in public, it's even like, oh man, it's like you have to live up to it, or not only do you let yourself down, I mean, you let everyone else, like, you look like, oh God.
You look like an asshole.
Yeah, right. And so, and no one wants, so it forces you to perform. So it did those two things for me. It forced me to perform, and it's a memorable, it makes an impression, and it just was like perfect. Like,
oh, it is perfect.
Like, but I felt uncomfortable even using it, like, kind of, and that was the point, I guess, because like it forces me like to be that guy. But I guess where I felt most uncomfortable, or I guess in general, like if anyone else like is like one of the struggles, and this kind of has to do, like, I hear people talk about, okay, your circle a lot, and like who you hang out with, and like you're the sum of your 5 friends, and like, changing your circle if you're not hanging around like with people that are helping you towards your goals. But one thing they don't talk about as much is when you do see these people again, like you almost have, like, that you haven't seen in a long time, like you almost have an urge, or I did, like to act like how I used to act, like before, like the unevolved person. And like, because you don't want to make them feel like bad, like that you, like if they're still the same or whatever, like you don't want to make them feel bad, or at least I didn't, like that I'm on like I'm growing personally, and that's kind of like, I had that little reservation, and I had to overcome that. That was something that I had to realize, like everyone is on their own path. Everyone is playing their own game. Like we're all playing the game together, but we're all playing within our, our own little universes too. So like don't feel bad, anyone, ever, for growing and being around, and don't feel like when you are around people that you used to hang out with, like that you have to, like, don't feel bad for being the new you around them.
Mm-hmm. People say, I won't name names. Okay, my ex-wife, she says, you've changed. Fuck, no shit.
That's a great thing to hear. Like, that's a great
thing.
Yeah, like from all my, like I've heard that so much lately, like from friends, like, and that's what you want to hear. Like if you really, like, when other people start telling you that, like that's when you're really changing. Like if you could think you're changing as much as you want, but like until people start telling you, like it's like so much of life is other people's feedback, and we don't pay attention enough. I think, like some of us, I don't know, in certain ways, some things, it's just like, be aware, like, so.
Well, I think the whole goal is to be evolving every day. If every day you're a little bit better than yesterday, what do you look like in 6 months? What do you look like in a year? What do you look like 5 years from now?
Yeah.
Look, I just got on Facebook messing around with this thing last summer. We started Break Free Go Live in November. Now I live in Las Vegas and I work for Brad Lee.
Bam. When you were telling me that you had just been on social media since last summer, I tripped out. I was like, no way. It's like, how did you, what? Like,
small step every day. Small step every day.
Just
but it's like a step, and then like 3 steps back, and then 4 steps forward, and then it's never. You try to keep it consistently moving forward, but it doesn't. I did want to touch on the point that you said, when you get around some of your old friends or some of those old people, subconsciously you want to, it's either you don't want them to feel inferior, right, to you, because now you've matured.
Yeah.
Or is it just your human nature in being like adaptable to a scenario or to a surrounding, especially when it's comfortable? I associate this back to like sports. Growing up playing sports, you put the team on the court with the best team out there, talking basketball, they're going to perform at a higher level. You put the team on the court with the crappy team, and they will not be on their A game. They will slip down to the level of competition that they're at, because it's the difference between reaching up and just doing your thing. Like if you're always reaching up, you have to level up. You have to. Like you can't be at this place where I'm at right now and not always be leveling up and trying to do better and get better and be better, because you're surrounded by people that are badasses. And that's the people you have to surround yourself with.
Yeah. What comes to mind is like when I'm racing go-karts. I love racing electric go-karts. I love cars and anything that goes fast, but K1 Speed has electric go-karts. When you're behind the first place, I hate to lose. Lose. And I'm a pretty good driver. Anyone who wants to challenge me at K1, I'm a pretty good kart driver. But so when you're behind, when you're in second place, you drive harder than I think when you're in first place, like, because you're trying, you're tailing that guy. So the same thing. It's like you're trying to live up, or compared to when you're just driving the track alone. Like, especially that's why it's so beneficial to be actually behind a driver that has a better line than you, because then you get better. So exactly, I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in competition, but I'd rather be chasing somebody, chasing something than sitting out in the front. And that's the difference between once you're like fully there, I guess. I don't know if you ever really fully get there, but you're comfortable and you continue to move at that pace without being pushed, right? Everybody like say, I'm an entrepreneur, I do this. Dude, you struggle, just like everybody else. The only person you're lying to is your damn self.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Because people, they see they see the successes, and they see, they don't see everything that it takes to go there, like, every overnight success takes 15 years or whatever. It doesn't have to take 15 years. I've seen people do crazy stuff in 90 days. That's the thing. Like, you can have an overnight success in 90 days. Like, you can, like, for anyone watching this, I believe that 100%, like, you can do that. If you take action, you got to take action.
Well, if Brad talks about this, he spoke about it at GrowthCon. Put your head down for 90 days at a time and commit yourself to something. Look up after that 90 days, see where you're at, put your head back down and go again.
Do it again. Yeah.
You'll be amazed where you'll be. There was another thing that, this guy, Garrett J. White, cool dude, he was talking about changing a habit. And I put this on Facebook because, like, it was something that I've been practicing, but hearing it coming out of somebody's mouth was big, right? So change something, one thing, a habit, whether it's remove a negative habit or add a positive habit, and do that consistently every day in 30-day periods and see what your life looks like in a year. See the change. One small thing.
Yeah. And I think you posted a quote recently that people underestimate what they can accomplish, or they overestimate what they can accomplish in a day, and they underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Yeah.
It really is. So what you're going to accomplish and what people are going to accomplish once this VT comes out, boy. Janine was asking how much is the VT? My answer for you is not enough.
It's not enough, actually. I mean, for the value that's going to be delivered, like, it's going to be insane. Like, my goal is to deliver enough value that you can make more than 5 times minimum back what you spent on this VT.
On your first or second deal. I mean,
yeah. I mean, like, there's so, like, when this is properly executed, you can blow it up. And this is it. Like, I've said it. Actually, I've already publicly committed this on Facebook, but now I'm going to say it on video. My goal is to create 100 flippers that have the ability to buy a Lamborghini if they want to, like, enough disposable income to buy on that level. That's my goal. So
I'm buying it.
Let's get started, guys. Girls, let's go. Let's do this.
So if you guys want to get on the pre-launch list, is the pre-launch list full yet?
We still got some spots. It's almost full, though, because of the last few videos. Like, people dropping ones like crazy. So
dropping ones. So drop a one in the comments right now. If you want to be put onto the pre-launch list, it's going to be a special pricing that's not going to be offered after the launch. It's going to be strictly for the pre-launch. Put a 1 in the comments if you want Jeremy to add you guys to that list, and you'll be kept up to date.
Uno. Por favor, put a uno. And we will put you on the VIP list. You on the VIP, because you can flip homes too. I kid you not.
Dude, you got to do a section. You got to do a section in there with the voice, with the radio.
Yeah.
So look, this was the whole point of this, like, stream. Like, let's let people get to know you. That's why we kind of went off on a tangent and talked about some other things. And it starts with you, being introverted and homeschooled and not knowing kind of how to like communicate socially with people, not communicate in general, because I'm sure you were good with your family and with people you were comfortable with, but communicate socially, to becoming a top producer at a major corporation. Verizon Wireless is a major company. They own the airways as far as I'm concerned. But to become a major high-level producer at a company like that, and then to go out on your own, be successful, do all the right things, and double down.
That's it. That's it, baby. We're going all in. I went to Vegas to go all in on a VT to help everybody else buy Lamborghinis or whatever else they want to buy once they can flip homes too.
Well, that's the deal, dude. If you know you got something and you know that you can help people and you know that you can do something for people, you are doing a disservice to yourself and to everybody that knows you by keeping it to yourself. When you have the results, you've proven that it can be done, that you know how to do it, you have the formula, you have the system. It is your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility to make sure that everybody around you knows.
And be it no mystery when I post my picture of my Lamborghini one day on Facebook or wherever as to how I got there. I want all my friends to come along with the journey. That's the thing too. Like, I'm not going to be that guy here in my garage with this rented car. I'm going to be like, let's go. I did this. You can do this too. And I'm proclaiming that right now. So let me help you. And we can all do this.
So I'm not seeing any ones in the comments. Apparently everybody that's on this stream right now has no interest in learning how to take a couple grand and turning it into a bunch of grand. Nobody's interested in that. That is a loss for the 12 of you that are on this stream. Your loss, not anybody else's. But you're putting them crybaby faces up.
No one. That's okay.
So, well, I don't know how long we've been going, but I wanted to keep this to like 30 to 45 minutes at the most. So I'll give it a second because I'm seeing some ones popping up on the screen.
Yeah, we still had someone. Oh yeah, okay. We're 1 hour and 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Actually, just had Jorge. What up, dude? He just joined. Crystal, thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody, appreciate you hanging out. Scroll through here real quick. Victor, Elite Closers, baby. Lambo boys, it's going down. I'm trying to decide 10 or 12 cylinders. I don't know. That's the kind of questions I want my friends to have right there. Got to decide 10 or 12. Crystal's going to California. Come to California. Let's race some go-karts, Crystal.
Dude, when you come back out here, we're going to the go-kart place.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I've been eyeing that racetrack, actually. The one on the way into town where you can drive the exotic cars on the track.
Where you can drive the Ferraris and the Lambos. And
might be a good team builder. All right.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, Jeremy, I appreciate you jumping in here on this stream with me. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about Jeremy than you had previously known and got some value out of the information that he's bringing to the table for you guys. Home of the Hustle. Mondays, Jason Daniels, Mr. Monday Night. Tuesdays, I don't know, dude. What do you think about that name, man? Taco Tuesdays.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah, once people know it's Taco Tuesday TV, I don't know.
So I'm just playing with some ideas. You never know. But Tuesdays with me, Wednesdays with Frank Sell, Thursdays with The Law, Fridays with Justin Myers. And we got some announcements coming. I'm not going to be the one that drops the hammer on this one, but we got some announcements coming for the show. As you know, Home of the Hustle is a network, and we want to bring as much value to people within the network as we possibly can. So we'll continue to expand on what we're doing here so that, you know, everybody gets to meet everybody and everybody wins. It's all about winning because the message and the news that we're going to drop is going to be huge.
Value. Huge value.
Huge. So appreciate you guys.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Take it easy. If you're not following the Friendly Flipper, where you at? Give them where can they find you? Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Snapchat's off the hook. If you ain't following this dude on Snapchat, you are missing out big time.
Friendly Flipper on Snapchat, The Friendly Flipper on Facebook, The Friendly Flipper on Instagram, Friendly Flipper on Twitter, The Friendly Flipper on YouTube. I'm all over it.
All over it. All over it. So go follow the guy. And if you're too lazy to do the rest of them, or you're too confused by,
snap me back. I love
Snap
getting
that dude. Man, I just started playing with Snap too, and then I was like, you know, I didn't know how to use it. And then I seen your post, and I was like, follow me on Snapchat. And I had seen one of them before, and then I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this dude's going nutty on Snapchat. Like, I got to make sure I pay attention to what he's doing. What's up, Jay? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Jay?
You missed it, but Savage Grind.
Daniel Joseph Savage.
Yeah, so stay tuned because we're going to have a big announcement coming real quick here, but I ain't gonna drop it. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna do that, but it's coming, so pay attention. But follow this dude everywhere he's at, and stay tuned, stay close, because his VT is gonna be fire. Fire. Have a good night, everybody. Hit me up, Jeremy. Let me know when you're coming back so we can go race them go-karts.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother.
Take
it easy, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Peace.